Tips with Tony. Tips with Tony. All about nutrition from your favorite dietitian. Everything you need to digest in your mind. Tips with Tony. Tips with Tony. Making you healthier one bite at a time. With Tony. Woo.
Hello, and welcome to the Tips with Tony podcast. I'm Tony Marinucci, your registered dietitian, helping you get healthy one bite at a time. This next clip is another little bit of a longer episode that I did with the Gymwits. So if you're new to the podcast, then welcome to the Tips with Tony podcast. If you're not new, then you know that I have been a co-host to the Gymwits podcast for about 3.5 years now, and we do more longer form episodes, and it's really, really great. So definitely head over to the Gymwits, become a subscriber. It's really amazing information there. Anyways, we recently did an episode about different terms and buzzwords and things to look out for. And so we talked about a lot of different things, but I kind of picked out a couple clips that I felt were something you guys would want to hear. So the most recent episode was all about the term natural and how natural doesn't always necessarily mean healthy. And this one is all about lifestyle. So a lot of programs use the term lifestyle change as a way to kind of hook you in and to make you feel like this is going to be different than something you've ever done before. And I have a really big problem with that because that's actually really just most of the time, like 97% of the time, not the case. So things to be mindful of when starting a new program or looking at different things that term lifestyle change that might not actually be a lifestyle change. So anyways, more on that here. I talk about certain programs like NOOM and Weight Watchers, and I haven't done like thorough research. All I can really talk about is those who've come to me who have tried those before and just tell me that they are not something that they want to be able to, they don't want to do that the rest of their life. And so if it's a true lifestyle change, then you'd be able to do it the rest of your life. So that's a little bit of a sneak peek, but without further ado, I'll let you listen to this clip and let you make your own opinions and suggestions. And I'll see you on the other side. Enjoy.
Okay, so next one we've got. So this is one that Tony gave us is lifestyle change. So maybe you can explain this. It sounds like
so it's been really, it's upsetting because I will watch and I'm going to call them out. And I haven't done a ton of research, but I can only tell you what people tell me. And I've been actually meaning to do my own podcast about this. But I would say 2 different programs tend to market it as a lifestyle change, and yet it's not so much a lifestyle change because you have to keep doing the program in order for you to keep the results. And therefore, if you have to track points your entire life or count calories your whole life, then to me, that's not a lifestyle change, right? Unless you want to and you genuinely enjoy that. So, some people find like Weight Watchers super, super helpful, and that's awesome. But from most people that I've heard, they're like, I'm good when I'm doing the program, but when I'm off the program, I'm not good. It's like, how is that any different from you doing a diet? And when you're not doing a diet, you're not quote unquote good, right? That to me, that's not much of a difference. And then they're learning a lot of things by points, but they do a great job with educating and teaching along the way. But still, sometimes it just doesn't make sense to me. The fact that they changed the point system 5 times in the past 10 years, it's like food hasn't changed value. I'm pretty sure a grape has had the same calories, amount of sugar since it's been a grape. Like, you know what I mean? So that part, is a little bit confusing. And then the most recent one is I remember watching the advertisements for NOOM. And NOOM is relatively newer on the market, and it talks about behavior modification and using an app. And that sounds really good. That's what I say. That's exactly what I help my clients with. I'm helping them committing a lifestyle change so they don't have to diet again. My program comes with an app. We work on behavior modification, and that's what I do. But when people tell me that they tried NOOM, they tell me that their calories were set to 1,200. and there'd be like, this was like a 26-year-old woman. Like nobody who's 26 should be eating 1,200 calories. Anyone really should be eating 1,200 calories. That's very restrictive. Yeah. There was foods on there that they use. Like, it's a great system that I've used when I taught kids, which is the, what I use, like red light, green light, and yellow, which is like red foods are like, you want to pause and really think about those. Yellow foods we had to have moderately, and green foods are like, good, we want to have those every day. But there's like things in NOOM where they're like things that are in the red that are like peanut butter, for example, or avocados, right? Because they're high in fat, because it's been higher in calories. But that's where so many people are so afraid. I can't even tell you how many people come into working with me and are afraid to eat an avocado or afraid to eat peanut butter. Yeah. And it's crazy. So stuff like that really bothers me, because I've watched the commercials for NOOM, and they make it appear so easy, so fun, so you don't have to track anything. Like, they advertise it as this like lifestyle change situation, and realistically, like, no, it's not really teaching you anything. And if anything, it's just making your confusion worse. That's from my personal experience. And like I said, I believe like everyone tries something, and some people find benefit from it and it can be helpful, but a majority of people go into those thinking they're being sold the lifestyle, when really it's not.
It's kind of like they're being sold a lifestyle, but it's really, they're being sold like a program that they always have to follow.
Exactly.
And they're using the term lifestyle change and behavior modification, but it's not.
Yeah. Right. Because
or it's an unreal, or it's something that's unrealistic.
Well, the thing is, like, I've noticed with weight, because I think Weight Watchers, people that I know that have done it, I know tons of people, I'm sure you have, that have had great success with it. But I think that's the problem, that often they only have success when they're on it, and they don't have success when they're off. Mm-hmm. And so then it's not really changing your life, because it's not arming you or equipping you with the knowledge and ability to handle it on your own.
It's so funny.
And so, but then lean into that and say, look, this, you got to stay on this program, otherwise, because they're not teaching you how to live. They're teaching you how to follow a program, which works and successful when you're doing it. But, it is I never even considered that, but most people I know that have done it have a hard time sticking to it. And I think the trick is that they think they can. So, this is easy, the points. And then once you stop, it kind of falls away over time.
We're like, Weight Watchers, it works so well. I lost so much weight when I was on it. And where's that? Well, I gained it back because I wasn't on it. Yeah. It's like,
and then they reward you. They reward you when you hit your goal, and then you're a lifetime member. Mm. So then you're like in it for life. But then it's like, then you like don't pay for it or something like that, because you like hit your goal. But like, so I don't know, like that part is like, why do you need to be in it for life? Like, you do need to be a Weight Watcher for life. Like my goal with my clients is to get them to graduate so they can live their life, because your life is not supposed to be worried about how much you weigh every day. Like, that's just not it. Like, it's just, there's so much more to life than worrying about what the number is on the scale. And that's the other thing with Weight Watchers. It's all based on scale. It's literally all based on the number on the scale.
I guess the question, maybe to play devil's advocate a little bit, and you obviously have a lot of experience with people like this, is, would you say though that there are some people who might need that accountability? Like I'm not
discounting that. Yeah. And that's the thing too. Like, it can potentially be a lifestyle change and something for everyone. But I'm just saying, from my personal experience, most people who come to my program have done all those things. Yeah. Everything, because they don't want to track points their whole life. Yeah. They want to live their life. And that could be a process, a stepping stone. I believe tracking is so powerful, but it doesn't necessarily have to be what they do forever, unless they want to. So
I do find, like, for me, there are some people who kind of need the babysitter when it comes to exercise, for example. Like, they almost need that, no matter how hard you try to kind of let them go on their own, it seems almost like they need that, that accountability there. And I wonder if I think it's different with exercise and nutrition, because if you're really focused on
like your habits, then yeah, I mean, we all need accountability and to reel it back in. But if you're really like, what I teach people is mindful eating strategies and listening to your hunger cues and knowing what foods fit best for you. And like, once you really get that solid foundation, it's like, yeah, you might, and unfortunately, if something like traumatic happens and you're sad and like you kind of go back a little bit, like you might need to come and work with a dietitian again, but yeah. I don't know. Like, I think it's a little different. Some people do. Listen, I've had people working with me for years, like, because they do like the accountability. They do like the cheerleader aspect. But they're not tracking points. They're not tracking calories. You know, do you hear what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, it makes sense. Yeah.
All right, guys, I hope that got you thinking. If you have tried these programs and are doing great on them and really enjoy them and see yourself following them for a lifetime, then that's amazing. I never want to discount that. If someone's feeling really good about something and it's helping them, I never want to make you feel like it's not worth your time or anything like that. Anything that we do is feedback and there's a lesson in there. So you might learn a few things through doing these programs, but it doesn't mean you have to do them forever. You can take the parts that work, implement them into yours. Things like, if you learned anything from it, take it as a lesson, but it doesn't mean you have to be kind of stuck or tied to that plan or program. So I hope this made sense. If it resonated with you in any way, don't forget to screenshot the episode, share it on your story, tag me at tips_with_Tony. That's Tony with an I on Instagram, or the Tips with Tony podcast on Instagram, or even the Gym Wits too. Whoever you want to give credit for this podcast episode, let us know what your big takeaways were. If you have any suggestions or comments about any episodes, or you have suggestions for future episodes, don't hesitate to email me, tipswithtony@gmail.com. Thank you so much for listening to the podcast. If you're not already subscribed, definitely hit that subscribe button. A new episode comes out every Monday and every Wednesday, and when you're subscribed, you'll be notified so you don't miss an episode. As always, thank you so much for listening. I'm Tony Marinucci, your registered dietitian, helping you get healthy one bite at a time.